Many blessings to all you freedom fighters, from Lenin, from Che, from Fidel, for every ancestors of ours that we stand in their shoulders. I, like Brenda, throughout my talk, I want to talk about resistance. And I want to talk about day-to-day resistance. I've been watching these little tic-tacs the children in Palestine are doing. And some other people are doing tic-tacs around Palestinian food. It's amazing that in the middle of genocide, we use our culture to hold us up and fight back. That is very important because we could all fall into despair. We talk about genocide of the Zionists, aka the United States government, against the Palestinian people for more than 75 years. We could talk about settler colonialism in Puerto Rico and many other countries around the world, but Puerto Rico in particular, that had 500 years of settler colonialism by Spain, and for over 125 years of settler colonialism by the United States. They're not bombing us in Puerto Rico right now. But in the last few years, we had a population of 600 million people, and today it's down to 300 million people. That's genocide. That's genocide. And it's very important to understand why you go to Palestinian demonstrations and you always see a Puerto Rican flag. Why we, as a people, stand with the Palestinians. Because the United States wants a Puerto Rico without Puerto Ricans. And that's genocide. And we feel it en nuestras entrañas. Certain words I can't say in English. In our guts, I guess that's what that means. You know, we feel it. We understand the struggle for Palestine. And in reading What's to Be Done, Lenin's What's to Be Done, for me, the most important is you cannot wage struggle without politics. You have to understand dialectical historical materialism. So that one goes hand in hand, whether it's the union economic struggle, how do we get the unions in the United States to come out, is by raising the political question from a class, race, gender perspective. And that's resistance to do that work. And that is very hard work. I can't say that I am representing here Uptown for Palestine, because I didn't ask them, okay? But before Uptown for Palestine, there was progressives from Washington inwards. People built on the work of other people, right? And everybody talks about Lenape, Washington Heights, and Inwood, and nobody talks about how they resisted, and they resisted, right? People love Washington Heights and Harlem and Inwood, and we are sitting, these grounds were full of plantations. The Jamal House, Hamilton House, Dyckman House, and there's a lot of burial grounds in this area. And we resisted because there are also underground railroad houses here. So the only reason we're here is because we resisted, right? Omawali talked about the Audubon or the Malcolm X Center, and it's here because we resisted. Imagine a boarded building where activists painted murals to hold this space. Resistance is not futile. We give testimony to that. But we have to be persistent and consistent and link ourselves to other struggles. Yesterday, right here, began on 175th Street in Fort Washington, more than 1,000, mostly young people, march for Palestine. Of course, you did not hear that in the news. And we're connected to the Coalition for Palestine that Richie talked about in the Bronx, right? The vision is that this city will flood the United Nations. I mean, my vision, because I think very big, when the Committee for Decolonialization in June is at the UN, because the struggle begins as we as a people push up. Can I hear that? The struggle begins when we as a people push up. One more time. The struggle begins when we as a people push up. Okay? We're the ones that make freedom happen. If we don't take it on, nobody's going to take it on. The buck stops here, right? And Brenda talked about who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to talk to about this conversation? Each one of you represents 1,000 people, okay? I don't know how many people in the room, but there's been many people. So that out of this meeting, 100,000 people will be communicated to. Give yourselves a hand. And at another time, I will talk about the comparisons between Puerto Rico and Palestine, and how together the struggle continues. And Puerto Rico, as Palestine, will be free. Remember, a fight for Palestine is a fight against U.S. settler colonialism. It's a fight for Puerto Rico. It's a fight against oppression of all the people in the world. So again, be consistent and persistent. Love yourself and love others. All we have is each other. All power to the people.